His eyes have been closed for years. He went blind saving a kid named Kenshiro. This isn't post-apocalyptic, this is Mad Max post-apocalyptic. This might be the best design in the line. Meet Shu. Here's the box. Let's get him out. Right under these lights. Forget the pose for a second. Look at the color first. This isn't anime Shu, this is manga Shu, Buronson's palette, not the cartoons. See these marks across his face? That's the duel that cost him his sight. Painted in, not implied. Run your eye along the hairline. There's a lighter grey worked into the tips of every layer. For a 2009 Sculpt, that's not nothing. The jacket is where this figure earns its money. Feel these folds. There's ochre dust worked into every crease, like he walked straight out of the wasteland. Lift this collar. Softer material, but it won't drape on its own. Gravity isn't doing the work here. Follow this strap, brass, running from his chest over the shoulder all the way down his back. And look at the buckle, there's a tiny emblem stamped into it. Underneath, the red shirt's got its own dirt shading. Right at the collar, a sculpted chain, small enough most people will miss it on camera. Black bracers on both wrists. Same ochre treatment on the pants as the jacket. This isn't a costume, it's one dirty outfit. Push on this loincloth, front and back, it's soft enough to move, trimmed in the same worn brass. Less fold detail on the boots, the material won't allow it, but the worn dusty finish carries through anyway. Turn the fist over, even the knuckles and palm creases have shading worked in. Tilt the shoulder armor under the light, grainy, worn metal finish, not glossy plastic pretending to be steel. Ken Matsuura sculpted this back in 2009, it still holds up in 2026. For me, this is the best dressed figure in the entire Hokuto no Ken line. Pop off the default fists. 3 pairs come in the box. 1 pair sits relaxed, open. 1 pair's built for Nanto technique poses. Fingers lock tighter, more tension in the hand. And 1 pair's made to grip, because that grip is for this. A double spike mace, 2 real metal chains and a white wrapped bar holding it together. Not painted on chain links, actual metal. Compare that to Kenshiro, the first figure in this same line. 4 pairs of hands, a swappable head, nunchaku. Shu gets 3 pairs and 1 weapon, lighter loadout, but it's not empty-handed. Then there's the stand. It's built around the Revoltech joint that attaches to the backhole, specifically for leg and handstand poses, because Nanto Hakuro Ken is a leg-only style. For a figure this old, that's a thoughtful accessory set, even if it's not the biggest one in the line. Tilt the head up and down, then rotate it side to side. No lateral tilt. Same limit on every Revoltech joint from this era. The hair at the back is soft enough to lift on its own, resting on top of the shoulder pads instead of jamming the head rotation. The shoulder pads ride their own Revoltech joint. They lift and rotate together with the arm instead of staying locked in place. Lift the arm out to the side. It stops right at shoulder height. The shoulder rotates on the joint, but there is no butterfly joint underneath to push it any further. One single joint at the elbow, bending to about 90 degrees. The arm rotates right there, on that same joint, nowhere else. The hand tilts up and down and rotates all on one joint. Twist the chest, and this is where the figure shines. Full rotation at the ribcage, built for dynamic poses. There's a second joint at the stomach, letting the torso bend forward and back. Bend him forward and look at what's usually an ugly gap on all the Revoltech bodies. The sculpt hides it well here. And there's waist rotation. Kenshiro and Zagi don't have this joint at all. The loincloth is soft enough to ride up with the legs. It's not articulated itself, it just doesn't fight the joints underneath. Now the hip. Same V-crotch cut as every figure from this era. The diagonal angle forces the leg out to the side. You can't just lift it straight forward or back. The thigh swivel is doing damage control here. It's the only thing compensating for a hip joint that isn't intuitive to pose. The knee is the best joint on this entire figure. Double Revoltech joint with a separate rotation right below it. The foot tilts, rotates and bends side to side, but it's a ratcheted joint. It clicks into fixed points and those points don't always line up with where you actually need the foot to sit flat on the ground. Overall, the legs carry this figure's articulation. The arms are stock for the era, nothing more, nothing less. Official height, 145mm. Stand him next to Kenshiro and Rei from the same line and the scale lines up exactly. Same line, same era, no fudging. Put his hand up for a high five with Rei's fellow Nanto fighter and it actually lands flush. Next to Goliath, NECA's gargoyle figure is tiny. Goliath's holding a spiked mace too, and both figures share that same weathered sfumato paint style. Different scale, same shelf, no visual clash. Pose him kicking at veteran William. Detail level and the weathered paint hold that next to it. Next to Ultra Instinct Goku from SH Figuarts, that one doesn't work. This figure plays well with grounded weathered sculpts. Put it next to something stylized and shiny and the illusion breaks. So here's where this lands. Best dressed figure in the entire line. The joint offers good support everywhere except at the hip. This sculpt launched cheap back in 2009. The Legacy reissue you're looking at cost almost double. Today, complete copies run $55 to $80 on the secondary market. That's a real markup for one weapon and 3 pairs of hands. Skip it if accessory count is what you're chasing. But the sculpt and the paint are doing work most modern figures don't bother with. If you're building a Hokuto no Ken shelf or just want one great looking post-apocalyptic figure, this earns its spot. Links to grab one and to my Kenshiro and Rei reviews from this same line are in the description. Subscribe if you want more. Now I want to know from you, does this design beat every other fighter in the line or is there someone better? Tell me in the comments.